Good afternoon, my friends and family of North Texas Vegetable Gardening, Canning Recipes, a little bit of everything. It's a beautiful day today. There was some severe weather that went through Texas earlier this week. Check out this video from my daughter's house. You can see the funnel cloud very close to her. So this weekend looks to be very nice, guys, very nice to get out and do some planting. And I've said it a million times to you, if there ever was a time, right now's the time. So there are so many dynamics going on in the world right now that threaten our food supply. Number one, what's going on over in Europe. So yeah, they're saying that there's definitely going to be food shortages, and it's a lot of it's going to be in the wheat area. So I'm going to be picking up some more flour, and I'm going to be doing some dry canning of our flour to make sure we have plenty of goods. Also, another thing you might want to look at is maybe some tortilla flour, because all you do is add water to that, and in the event you're unable to get maybe some bread or something, tortillas are a favorite thing here in Texas. You can mix up your own tortillas pretty quick, pretty easy, and with just water. So we do keep tortilla flour on hand and regular flour. So let's talk now about what's going on with the garden and what we are doing to sustain our garden and to try to help our soil out in these very trying times, because they are also stating that fertilizer may be a big issue for us all. So you can see behind me I've got some great things going on here in the high tunnel. We've got some carrots coming up. I did replant. We've got some celery back there. I'm going to plant my green stalk. This weekend I planted some okra. Last weekend some wax beans. Oh my goodness, some eggplant. And my memory's getting so bad. Everything is just so overwhelming. Some eggplant and something else, guys. I'll think about it. But anyway, we still have our chard and our kale coming up. Killer, doing excellent in here. Our onions are doing wonderful. We've got some great lettuces. We've got some spinach going on in one of the raised beds. I'm going to probably start pulling that up and either can it or freeze dry it to hang on to it. We want to hang on to everything we can this year, guys. Let me take you around and show you what's going on in the tubs, then I'm going to walk you out there to the big high tunnel. I have some beautiful broccoli, or broccoli. I do have some broccoli, but hang on. I got some beautiful cabbage coming up. Some beautiful broccoli. Here's some kale. We are letting this broccoli bolt. Some more cabbage. Some more kale. Some more cabbage. Some more broccoli. Look at these beautiful onions, guys, coming up in this baby pool. I had every intention of pulling these out and transplanting them, but they're doing so good in there, I'm leaving them alone. And want to make sure that we have plenty of our spices of life. So I have onions on down this row, and you'll see where Greg has went in and planted lettuce in between in these tubs that are kind of empty that we're getting ready to plant. And the reason why is he is changing the way we feed our plants. And the way we're going to feed our plants is more biology based instead of chemistry based. And that means we are going to utilize magnesium and phosphorus and potassium and nitrogen, but the nitrogen we're going to use is going to be more plant-based as well. So here is some comfrey. This is going to be one of our main our main supplies of nitrogen, and we have many more plants. One of my subscribers gave me these and they have done terrific. We've got about 6 or 7 more plants that we're going to put out amongst the property so that we can do the chop and drop, or we can make the comfrey tea. Ooh-wee. Look at that beaut. Turnips, guys, are very versatile. You can eat them raw in a salad. You can can them up. You can use them as a potato substitute. You can drizzle them with olive oil and bake them in the oven. And these beautiful greens make wonderful greens. You can saute these in a skillet with a little bit of bacon grease or a little bit of olive oil with some onion and garlic, and it is so delicious. I've already made this year for my pop, and he and my husband ate it up like crazy. So turnips are a very versatile plant. So look at these beautiful turnip greens and my beets that are coming up in this high tunnel. There's tons of them in there. I'll be canning them up. I'll be eating turnip greens like crazy, and I'll probably be canning some as well. From this direction, if you look real close, you can see all my onions. They did survive, every single one of them. Now, you might be noticing that there's some weeds in my garden, or is that weeds? And you notice here that we have all of our tomato plants and our pepper plants planted, and it looks like there's weeds in my garden, or is there? So what are we learning? We are learning that things are changing so quickly that we're going to have to adapt to the times. So Greg has been doing quite a bit of studying. He's been doing a lot of his homework on regenerating our soil. And so what you're seeing in my high tunnel out here is a cover crop. And the cover crop consists of many different things, but some of it is oats, some of it is buckwheat, some of it is the sweet alyssum or acyllum or something that attracts bees, and some of it is clover, and then there's various other things that you can use for a cover crop. Now, a lot of people grow the cover crop and then they till it under or they mash it down right before they plant. We're doing it differently this year because we want to regenerate our soil. So what's going on in our garden and in this high tunnel is all of these things that Greg has put in is going to feed our soil back. And you can let your plants grow with it. The only thing they'll fight for together is water. They will not fight for nutrients because these plants actually put nutrients back in your soil, and that is exactly what we're doing. And we plan on doing this probably forever, depending on how this test runs this year. So he has done some extensive studying on this, and it's kind of scary for me because I am a very type A personality, and I like everything to be clean and everything to be organized. So to see some of this weed and this clover and this buckwheat intermingle with my plants makes me a little nervous, but he is confident in this process that it's going to help us in the long run, and it's going to help feed our plants this year. So the objective is to let it go ahead and grow in between the aisles, and we can step on it, which will help us sometimes because it gets muddy in here when we water, but let it grow. When it gets to a certain height, we can come out here and step on it and mash it down and just let it keep regenerating our soil. So you might want to pay attention and hit that subscribe button to see how this works for us, because we are hot and heavy on getting our soil back in shape with the elements that they need and with the nutrients that it needs, instead of using chemical or synthetic fertilizers, which from what he is finding out might not be the best thing for our plants in the long run, or our soil. So changing your soil health is not something you can do overnight. So this year you need to make sure that you can grow what you can grow with what you have, regardless of what you use. If you use synthetic fertilizers or chemical fertilizers, you need to get what you can going this year. But one of the things that we are doing in our front yard is Greg has gone in and also put a big cover crop in this front yard of the oats and the buckwheat and his seed mixture and some of the elements that the soil needs to be healthy. And we are redoing this soil now, not only for this year but for next year. It's probably going to be more in effect next year. But what we're going to try to grow up here with this, and we're trying to modify this soil, and we're trying to get it healthy, and we're trying to make it produce healthy plants with healthy food that's going to help us, is we're going to do our watermelons and our cantaloupes and all of our melons probably out there. That's what we intend to plant. So we still have a little bit of time to get those in the ground. He is watering like crazy. He has sown this seed probably about 2 weeks ago, maybe 3, and things are starting to come up now. We have been so dry that he has had to put the sprinkler out. That rain did help a lot of that germinate the other day, but now we're back to a dry pattern. So in our first high tunnel and the smallest one, I'm growing my tomatoes the same way that we did last year. Now guys, we grew tomatoes last year 9 or 10 months, so we had tomatoes almost year round. There was a couple of months, maybe a month or 2, that we didn't have any, but I'd say for the majority of last year we had tomatoes. Now, these are the black crim and these are the black cherry, which I enjoyed so much last year, and I believe we have one Perone in there. So check out this kale, guys. This survived the winter and it has started to come back really strong, just like this one, just in the last couple of weeks. But what I'm going to do with the majority of these 2 raised beds, as you see all the little holes, I'm going to try to grow some of my squash and zucchini in here. I've got 2 of these raised beds that I'm going to do this with. You can see all that goodness coming up in this front yard, guys. We are revamping our soil as quick as we can. So you guys have been following us, many of you, for a very long time since we started out, and you have learned with us and you have grown with us, and we have learned from you too. And so this is a new chapter. I'm hoping that the videos I start posting will be beneficial to you to help you regenerate your soil and your planting area. You can see behind me this high tunnel is going crazy. It's going crazy, and I'm so excited, but we still got to do some more planting in there. This weekend I'm going to put some bush beans in that big high tunnel out there and get those going, because we always enjoy our fresh green beans, and they're great to can up for long-term storage. So I don't know if you noticed, but I've had to break in and out of my videos often because I did an Instacart order this morning, and she is texting me like every 2 minutes saying that they're out of something, they're out of something, they're out of something. So there are this great concern, and so there's great concern. There's just great concern. We want you guys to grow your own food as quickly as you can. And if you watched my video from last weekend, you know that the quickest way for you to get started is container gardening. And I highly suggest you do that. Go back and watch that video. You can container garden and grow anything on your patio, on your apartment balcony, in your backyard. There's so many things, if not just about everything, you can grow in containers. In fact, we grew watermelons last year in containers and they did fantastic, and we got some beautiful watermelons out of it. So we're going to try container gardening for watermelons this year, but we're also going to plant directly in the ground where you see that cover crop coming in. So stick with us. Be sure and hit that subscribe button to find out how this cover crop does during our growing season and how it nourishes our plants. He is doing all kinds of great things. He is putting boron back in the soil. He has just done fantastic on his research in the last 3 months, trying to figure out how we can be sustainable with what we got and not have to rely on things that are coming from other countries, because guys, that's quickly diminishing. I'm in the procurement industry, and I'll tell you that we are struggling to keep production lines moving due to all the shortages. So stay tuned. Be sure and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and stick with us. And I'll probably do a little quick video tomorrow when I'm putting in my bush beans. And we are very excited that it is that time of the year to get to growing and to get to planting. And we are excited for all of you. I'm getting comments from people that are first-time gardeners. We are so excited and so stoked for you. And we think that you're going to get the gardening bug, and that this is going to be a great year for you. And we're praying for all of you to have a wonderful harvest. And the Lord willing, we will. Just know that we never know what tomorrow holds, but the Lord still asks us to go ahead and prepare for it and get ready for it. And just remember Joseph. Remember Joseph. He told him to prepare for famine in the years of plenty. And so that's what we are doing. That has been our motto for years, and we keep doing it because you never know when we might get hit. So take care. God bless. We'll be in touch. Talk to you soon.